Hello, future licensed professional teachers. This is Teach Jove, your virtual coach. Welcome to my channel. Today, I'll be sharing with you the top 10 mistake study strategies in ProfEd. And this is very common. And as someone who's also gone through the stress and excitement of preparing for ProfEd, I understand how overwhelming it can get. But sometimes, it's not about how hard we study, it's about how smart and strategic we study. Let's talk about the top 10 common study mistakes in ProfEd review that many of us unintentionally make and how you can avoid them. And number one, we have the passive reading without engagement. Many let takers just read and highlight their modules without truly engaging with the material. But remember, Proof Ed isn't just about remembering. It's about understanding and applying. And the best way to do it is talk to yourself about what you have learned. You have to teach it to someone else or jot down quick summaries or in your own words. This is the best way as well. You have to talk in front of the mirror. And as for me, personally, I talk in front of the camera for me to better apply or exercise my learnings. Next, we have number two mistake that is relying solely on memorization. Memorization is it is the lower order thinking skills, and you can learn better by engaging. As per said in the most proponents in professional educations that or especially in Bloom's taxonomy, memorization is lower order thinking skills. So I get it that there's so much to memorize, like laws, theories, philosophers. But focusing only on memorizing without understanding the context makes it harder to answer applications questions. So the real key is knowing when and how to use those concepts in a real life classroom situation. So in Bloom's taxonomy, the memorization again is in lower order thinking skills. So for you to understand better, you have to apply it or you have to exercise it. You have to use multiple techniques in order for those informations to be understand to be deposited on your long-term memory. And number three mistakes, we have the skipping the framework of proof ed. What does it mean? So, jumping from one topic to another without understanding the big picture is like building a house without a plan. So, proof ed topics are connected. Start with the foundations before jumping to methods and assessment. So it makes everything easier to digest. So in ProfEd, you really have to start from the basics. Next mistake that is neglecting the lead type questions practice. So for this, number four, this is one of the biggest mistakes I personally made before. I used to study theories but barely practice lit style questions. The exam is situational and application based, so you have to train your brain to answer those kinds of questions early on. The questions, the multiple choices, the critical thinking, the analytics questions. Number five, we have cramming instead of spaced repetition. I used to believe in overnight reviews, but trust me, it only adds stress. The better way is studying a little every day and revisiting topics repeatedly over time. So it's not about how long you study, it's about how often you review and apply it. So it is better to study one topics at a time. Number six mistake is the underestimating application question. Most of us focus on theory, but forget that most prof ed questions involve real classroom situation. Always ask yourself, how would this concept apply in a grade 4 classroom? Or how should the teacher respond to this scenario? Sometimes the application questions that we underestimate that is most useful in taking the lead. So we have to take everything. We have to take. We have to make that every information is very important in the lead questions. And we have number 7, which is poor time management, and that is a very 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 crucial, that you have to really have a time management, because spending too much time on your favorite topics and neglecting difficult ones is a common trap. You have to make a balanced study plan that covers all areas weekly. Even those topics you don't like, the ones you avoid might appear in the test. So again, as I mentioned a while ago, that you have to really take the all of the information seriously. When the time comes, you can use all of those information, or most of the information, or majority of the information that you study, you can apply it in the real scenario or in the real let exams. So we have the number 8 mistake is neglecting educational laws and code of ethics. Some let takers don't prioritize these, thinking they're easy points. But those situational law-based questions can be tricky. You have to master the Republic Act 7836, Republic Act 9155, which are child protection policy and the code of ethics. And number 9, we have studying alone and not asking questions. I used to hesitate asking questions in study groups because I was shy. But trust me, your study buddies can be your secret weapon. Explaining concepts to each other or debating over practice questions makes everything stick better. However, you have to choose your study buddy, okay? And number 10, we have focusing on quantity over quality. So, reading 10 topics a day but remembering none of them is useless. So, it's better to truly understand 2 topics than have baked knowledge of 10. You have to focus on what matters, master it, then move on. So this is a pro tip. In studying board exam, you can use mnemonic devices, visual diagrams, and you can also make a summary charts to organize proof and topics like learning theories, curriculum types, and strategies. We have bonus, which is not having a clear study plan. So this is a biggest mistake as well. You have to create a simple ProfEd study plan covering all areas with daily and weekly goals to track your progress. So I have here the example. This is the example of ProfEd study schedule template. This is flexible for self-paced or 4-week lit review. So we have date, topics, activities, and time allotment. So this is going to be depending on your availability or depending on the topics. Okay, like for example, Monday, you have to focus on the foundations of education, which covers the philosophy and history of education. And you have to make an activities. You have to read key concepts, summarize, and then answer 20 let type questions. And the time allotment for this is 1.5 hours. And then on Tuesday, you have child and adolescent development topic or focus. And then you can make an activities or study strategies, theories, principle application questions. Then on Wednesday, curriculum development and lesson planning. Activities like concept mapping, sample objective writing. And then that is, it takes 1.5 hours. And then Thursday, teaching your focus, that is teaching strategies and assessment. So activities, you have to differentiate techniques, practice, and situational questions. Like time allotment is like 1.5 hours. And then on Friday, you have to focus on educational technology and ICT integration. And then activities, you have to familiarize tools, ethical use, blended learning tips, and that consumes 1 hour. And then on Saturday, you have to focus on laws, code of ethics, which is the Republic Act 7836, Republic Act 9155. And then activities, you have to make flashcards, and then you have to have a quiz. And then time allotment, that is 1 hour. And then on Sunday, you have to focus on a ProfEd mock quiz or reflection. And activities is you have to take 50 item quiz, or you have to review the errors. And then I have here some mnemonics for key concepts. So in major learning theories, for me, this is an example. For me to be able to remember the major learning theories, I make mnemonics. um, this is be careful handling complex subjects. So B for behaviorism, which is learning happens through conditioning. And then C for cognitivism, and this is learning occurs in the mind. So H for humanism, which is learning happens when needs and feelings are valued. And then C for constructivism, learning is constructed, not received. And then also social learning theory, which is learning happens by watching others. So in major learning theories, we have behaviorism, cognitivism, humanism, constructivism, and social learning theory. So remember that in major learning theories, we have the mnemonics: be careful handling complex subjects. Be careful handling complex subject. Again, be careful handling complex subject. So B for behaviorism, C for cognitivism, H for humanism, C for constructivism, and S for social learning theory. Example mnemonics here for domains of learning, which is in the Bloom's taxonomy. We have CAP, cap your learning. C for cognitive, which is learning with the mind. And then A for affective, which is learning with the heart. And then P for psychomotor, learning with the hands and body. So CAP. In Bloom's taxonomy, remember CAP. CAP your learning. Next, we have curriculum types. In curriculum types, we have a mnemonic here. You had to remember CHOCFA. CHOCFA. So CHOCFA is a curriculum mix. Again, remember our mnemonics. CHOCFA is a curriculum mix, which is C for concomitant. What we learn outside, this is what we learn outside school. Or this is learning from home, family, and daily life. This is learning outside from school. And then H, we have hidden, hidden curriculum. So this is the hidden curriculum is what school teaches without saying it. So this also the unspoken lessons from school, like behavior, attitude, or values. That is the hidden curriculum. And next, we have operational curriculum, which means what really happens during lessons. So this is what teacher actually teaches and does in class. Next, we have core curriculum. So this is the heart of learning, like math and language. So this is a core curriculum is the main subjects all students must learn. Next, we have formal curriculum, which is what's written in the syllabus. What's written in the syllabus. So formal curriculum, this is the official lesson plan from DepEd or school. Next, we have actual curriculum. So this is what sticks in students' mind. Actual curriculum, what sticks in students' minds. Or on the other hand, this is what students actually learn and remember. Next, we have the mnemonics for foundation of education. So remember, in foundation of education, this is our mnemonics. Please help every child. Please help every child. Please help every child. So P for philosophical foundation, H for historical foundation, E for economic, C for cultural. Please help every child. So P for philosophical, which means this is the answers why we educate and what values we believe in. So this is our beliefs about teaching and learning. That is philosophical foundation. Now we proceed to the letter H, which is the historical foundation. So in her historical foundation explains how education started and developed over time. So this is what education was like before and how it changed. Next, we have a letter E, which is economic foundation. So it shows how education helps improve jobs, income, and the economy. So this is how schooling affects a country's growth, the economic foundation. And last, we have cultural foundation, which is letter C. Cultural foundation. This is teaches how education preserves and share traditions, values, and customs. So this is passing on culture to the next generation. So cultural foundation, passing on culture to the next generation. So remember, in foundation of education, please help every child. P for philosophical foundation, H for historical foundation, E for economic foundation, C for cultural foundation. We all have our learning styles, but sometimes our habits work against us. So I hope this list serve as a gentle reminder that preparation for ProfEd isn't just about studying harder, but also studying smarter and with heart. And if you need study tips, mnemonics, or let's style practice questions, feel free to reach out or follow my page. So that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for listening and see you in the next video.